Happy Halloween, October 31st, 2023. Hopefully, an amazing, great, have a great time with your family and your friend to go around the block, maybe, who knows. But it was a great celebration for many of you. I know some are already there, or they are done, or maybe they're going to go somewhere after the show we do tonight. We have a special show called the Locker Room Report. Usually, we do the Wednesday night, but we feel like the vibes of the Montreal Canadiens is all over the Montreal city. And I think it would be fun to talk about the Montreal Canadiens tonight. And that's what we're going to do tonight. Obviously, Marko is not with us tonight, but we have right now, I feel like he refilled all his food for the upcoming winter time. And he's just back from somewhere around the Toronto. So let's welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Enortap is in the house tonight.
Hello, Coach. Hello.
Here we go, Mr. Enortap. Really nice hat you have on you.
Hey, it's my octopus hat.
That's a great one about that. Did you go with somewhere with that around or?
Yeah, no. It just served a lot of the children in the neighborhood, but it's always a fun evening when it's Halloween.
Yeah, you're looking great, looking good. Me, I keep my same costume 365 days per year, so I didn't want to change about that.
What did you wear last night?
I stay home, Mr. Nartap.
Oh my goodness!
I got tricky. My regular cheese. She wanted to stay. She wanted to come here last night, so I couldn't say anything about that. Say yes or no, but I could not go anywhere, Mr. Nartap. So I stay here. But I walk around. It's really funny. This is my second year. Can't remember too much last year, but this is my second year. So I walked last night, my normal walk, 4 miles, 5 miles. And the last stretch of my mile, I would say to you, 0.8, 0.6. it's a bar section. Like I visit, it's a road I do every time I go around the bar, and then I drop, and then I kept my tuk tuk. And most of the people was not. It was like normal day for them. So some did it. I know on the walking street, and Patel would be really entertaining last night, but I missed that one.
Oh well.
But
Yeah,
she's
it's
leaving next
unfortunate.
week, Sunday, for 2 or 3 weeks. So I will catch her back, Mr. Anastas. Don't worry about that.
I'm sure you will.
I will get back on the track very soon. Or maybe create my own Halloween next weekend, Mr. Anastas. But
Sounds
we have a
good.
few people knock the door, Mr. Anastas. We welcome everybody first. And then don't forget, guys, tomorrow night, 9 o'clock p.m., we're going to do a more like an overtime show. And Michael Devilano is going to be with us tomorrow night. You have to change. And if you don't know, Michael just Mr. Tap launched a new book. So he's going to talk about this tomorrow night. Michael Devilano will be with us talking about the Detroit Red Wings. And then tomorrow, Mr. Tap is November 1st. Going to do reviewing a little bit the NHL overall, the month of the October. Like a little bit we're going to do tonight about the Montreal Canadiens. So we're going to
Sounds
see
good.
what happened in that. But before we start, Mr. Tab, let's see what we got in the chat very quickly. And don't forget, everybody, to click on the like if you don't mind. Our friend RG Calabo, Mr. Tab, is in the house tonight. Thank you so much to be with us. He said the Edmonton Oilers signed Sam Gagner, Mr. Tab, at $775,000 for 1 year. Talking about Sam Gagner, Mr. Tab, Paul Stastny should announce his retire as a hockey player the next couple of days. Stastny, 38 years old. Funny thing about that, Mr. Tap, we know is son of the Paul Stastny.
Right.
And do you know at which age Paul Stastny retired?
No, I'm not exactly sure of the
38
age.
years old. So it look like they
38.
cannot go
Okay.
at 39. It's like they have to stop at 38. You know what?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, Mr. Nartap, Paul Stastny become another Daniel Brière in NHL. If you don't know too much about that, Paul Stastny, I saw him many years, me playing Colorado. He grew at the Colorado area,
hmm
played at Thunderbird and the AAA anyway. And then when he got drafted, he played with the Colorado Avalanche. I was there during those years. He's really humble person. He's really smart. Uh, don't be surprised. Not right now. You have a young kids, everything like that. But don't be surprised the next 6, 7, 8, 9 years, you're going to see Paul Stastny not as a coach, more as a management in NHL at some
Oh,
point.
that's
So
interesting. Yeah. I,
yeah.
I I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Let's move on with Larry Lavallee, Mr. Natap, a little bit south of you, as it's directly from upstate, is in the house tonight. Thanks so much. Notre
Long
ami
time no
Claude
see, Larry.
Richard knocked the door. Claude, thanks to be with us. So, Mr. Natap, you're going to get hit right now. Be careful. I'm going to go down about that one. Then sometimes this graphic, Mr. Natap, is really, very difficult to follow what's going on here. So, and now we get that one over there. So it look like
Le Blanc et Rouge.
it does not work right now. We're going to delete that and go from the next one about that. Anyhow, Mr. Luciano Graziano, Mr. Top is in the house. Welcome back, Mr. Luciano. Thanks to be with our Canadian show. If I do that, what happened? No, does not change.
No.
We have Roy from Bangkok is in the house, Mr. Top. Alan Vaillancourt, he's still there.
Welcome.
If you go to bowling, just be careful now. You never know what could happen there. But we wish the best. And Mr. Split 96 is in the house. I'm doing pretty well so far. Boys, I hope you stay that this way. Mr. 98 or 96 will welcome in the house. Mr. Leon Renault is in the house tonight. Hopefully doing well, Mr. Leon. Dan Asham is on a tap from Winnipeg with the beautiful Colette knocked the door. Thanks to be with us. Don't forget, guys, to click on the like. That'd be awesome. Talking about this and something, I forgot to open up this one. We'll see what's happening. But 2-0, Mr. Tap, at the middle of the game, I believe Toronto and Los Angeles Kings at that moment. Then what we get here, Mr.
For
Tap,
LA.
well, anybody else in my neighborhood dead? Alan, no candy this year. Here we go. Sorry about that. And I'm going to turn off this because it's behind the scenes. It's not about the one they will get. It's one now. Triple W, Mr. Tap, knock the door tonight. Triple W, welcome in the house. Thanks to be with our
Welcome,
Canadian
Lush.
show. Roy is in the house for Bangkok. Some scary creature on walking street. Roy, every night, every night. I'm telling you that you don't have to be at the Halloween to see that. Mr. Gary Conway knocked the door. Mr. Tap. I looked like a downtown Pattaya on the Saturday night on my street for Halloween. About that one over there. Luc Laverson de l'Ange Gardien, il est de retour avec nous ce soir. Welcome back. And William McLaren, Mr.
Mon
Tap.
ami.
Here with us tonight. William, we miss you. Hopefully, doing well. And the
Welcome,
Swiss
William.
player is with us tonight. Thanks to be with our Canadian show. We appreciate a lot. We're going to talk about this the next some bit later, Mr. Players, about that for sure. And Rabinov, happy Halloween. And Mr. Tap, I don't know, but he just complete his last donuts of the night at the Walmart parking lot, Mr. Tap. Here we go. He just show up at the driveway, his driveway, because his wife said it's time to put the kid in the bed. So Dixon, you need to help your wife, but thanks to stop by. Don't forget, guys, to click on the like. That'd be awesome. That'd be great. Great game by the app last night as Suzuki show Vegas. Why they missed out on, yeah, was drafted by the Vegas Golden Knights, Mr. Tap, 13 overall pick. And we don't talk about Mr. Tap. We're going to talk about tonight. Let's see what we got on the subject, if you don't mind, before you open up the line for you. This game for the Montreal Canadiens from Martin St. Louis, and we have someone behind, I don't know. I don't know who it is, but Montembeault was behind the best game for the Montreal Canadiens. Finally, guys, you follow my ad. I did a recap game. I talk about Montreal Canadiens, the resilient team, Mr. Enortap, and I'm talking about that video performance of Sean Monahan, Suzuki, Caden Coley, Samuel Montembeault, and the team, what they accomplished, and again, Vegas Golden Knights. The reason they are the winner of the game without to get the 2 point, but they got 1 point. So it was a bit, we're going to talk about this around overall, the recap game, maybe some of that. And we're going to talk about some people in that chat, Mr. Tap. Let's see if I can fix this problem, Mr. Tap, before we start. If I can, that'd be great. If not, we have to figure out something else. But I don't know why they gave me that. Let's see, Mr. Tap. They gave me like a point interrogation about that one there. See, I don't know what's going on here, Mr. Tap. Completely,
Oh, wow.
completely
Out of whack.
yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like a new tradition about it. Oh, maybe I can do something, Mr. Tap, about that. What to fix this, guys? Don't go nowhere.
maybe we can guess what they're saying.
And sometimes Mr. Tap is the font change, and you have to figure out something else. You have to play with and all the kind of stuff like that. So we'll see now if it's looking good about that. Here we go. A little bit better.
Hey,
A little
the
bit better.
coach did
A little
it.
bit better about that. Roy say hi about this. If I can put now screw this way. Here we go, Mr. Tap. We're looking better and better. We just need to fix the fan. It's a delay. We call this a Mr. Delay. Everybody go. You can go restroom and come back. And Mr. Tap, we're going to take our time to do that at the same time. And we're going to go this way with them. Well, bless you, Mr. Tap.
Thank you. Thank you. Bad cold.
There we go. Looking better. We'll see what we got here. Question, Mr. Coach, from Roger Colette. Mr. Tap, il est retrouve avec nous ce soir. Roger, thanks to be with our Canadian show. I don't want to hear MSS is coaching to win. The team show up and play their butt off about that one over there. Yeah, they play for, they have some kind of challenge inside the team. What he said, he would try to get a W to prove the first team to win. At the end of the day, it's the same thing, Gary. They play Martin St. Louis try to win the game. That's okay with that part over there. And nothing wrong with that. He doesn't want to try to win the game when he try to develop everything like that. It's one game like that, Mr. Tap. You feel you feel it right from the bench behind everything like that, and you cannot to put the team down because you said this way we're going to pick it up more development later in the season, everything like that. So I have no problem with
No,
the way he did it yesterday, and the team respond very well. By the way, maybe one of the best games. I disagree with him when he said the best performance, but of the Montreal Canadiens. But overall, there was a really fun, entertaining game for the Montreal Canadiens.
yeah, they
Uh,
did. They played a very entertaining brand of hockey yesterday. I think they took it to Vegas right from the beginning, and they took, from what I could see, they took a lot of their skating ice away. That's what the difference was. They didn't allow Vegas really to get into a groove, and I thought that was a complete team effort in order to do that.
Yeah, KLS is in the house and set up. Thanks for being with our Canadian. The sun came up big last night for the Kane. Kane win ever been at conventions. And who is hitting their kid Halloween? Not me. Alin Vallejo, after me, Panarin for the Rangers is red hot at 15.9 game. I go with you. Uh, William McClary said a bit early. RJ Calabo said Rangers 5 and the Diamondbacks 0. Mr. Enortap, if you follow baseball, 2-0 for the Toronto. They add cap space now. Go get still a good player from Triple W. Goulet was a monster last night, and we're going to talk about Goulet in the next couple of minutes, guys. Dwayne always passing as a healthy scrap for the Colorado Avalanche. Jonathan Dwayne. Ah. Mm. So, Top, are you ready to rock and roll?
Let's do it, Coach.
9:15. So
Let's
let's
get
see what
into
we
it.
got here. First of all, guys, uh, we're going to skip the resilient thing. We're going to come back. Just right to remember. Sometimes I get too excited about something, Mr. Tap. So, recap game, Mr. Tap. Vegas Golden Knight 3 and shootout. And Montreal Canadian 2. Um, give us a bit, what do you think about the performance of Montreal Canadian overall, the players, everything like that? So, let's talking about this.
Well, like I said before, Coach, I thought that pretty much the entire game. I mean, especially the second and third period, I thought Montreal really carried the play. They were, I mean, both teams had very good goaltending. I wouldn't put that past either team, but you could still see that Montreal really had to push in order to get that tying goal. Now, in the overtime, it was a. I knew it was going to be a bit tough because usually Montreal does well in the overtime, but not when they play against another team that can skate and can put out, players like Theodore out there and that can create as well. And so we saw the overtime was a little bit. I mean, it went both ways, and there were some fantastic saves made. Uh, I thought Monty really stood on his head for Montreal. And then the shootout is pretty much luck, right? Great goal by Theodore, great goal by Suzuki. I think Montembeault stunned Eichel 2 or 3 times in this game. The penalty shot towards the end of the game, then the overtime, he made another great save off of him, and also in the shootout. Uh, but the big one was I thought Theodore, like, he went in there very decisive, put that upstairs, and I thought Newhook had a very good approach as well. It's unfortunate it hit the crossbar. Otherwise, it would have gone at least another couple of rounds, I think.
Yeah, we just saw you talk about Montembeault. We just saw the two penalty shot against Jack Eichel. He stopped last night. We just saw the big save on his back door against Alex
Yeah,
Pietrangelo and overtime. Um, you know, they really dominate the last two periods in center tap
oh,
over
for
the
sure.
over the over the Vegas Golden Knights. Yes, the overtime was more even, pretty even, but still, um, you know, I see a Vegas did not play the best game, right? Uh, it's not to discredit the Montreal Canadiens performance, by the way. I think they play a solid game, the Montreal Canadiens. But, I tried to look in for some players. They missed a couple of players, by the way. But I really like the performance. And, We talk about Montembeault now, but Montembeault, he can go, he can stay on the bench for a certain period. He got two shots in front of that. Uh, and that period, he stopped one of them,
Hmm.
and he got a goal against him, and they have another shot hit the post. That's pretty much what they got the Vegas and second period. And the
That's
third
right.
period, I believe Montreal dominate and shot again, like to get 39 at the end of the night. Aiden Hill is really impressive for me um, as a goaltender for Vegas Golden Knights. I like the way he aggressive, he fight for the puck. Not always pretty, but you know, he great performance for him against Montreal. Again. Without him, I believe Montreal win this game before the go
Oh
on
yeah.
over before we go in overtime. That area. For Vegas, I see Barbashev a little bit behind. For me, for that team, is Jack Eichel. Like Jack Eichel, I
Jack
think
had a
everything is on
great
the
game.
ice. He
Yeah.
have the puck.
Yeah. He was very good. I thought their defense was very good too, Coach. It's just a matter. I thought Montreal was a little bit more ready for this game. They came in with that intention. They took away a lot of their skating space, and they attacked the puck as soon as Vegas received the pass. You notice that they didn't give him too much on the outside. They were trying to force him inside, and then as soon as they did, somebody would come out and prevent the pass from being made. And it doesn't take much to look at the fact that they only allowed in the second period, I think, two shots on net.
Yep.
Unfortunately, one of those was a goal, and then in the third period, they only had five shots on net. So they did a great job of
Yeah, they
neutralizing.
they they completely, and they was really skating well. They come back again. Talk about resilient team. They come back at the second period, at the third period, to tie the game, and then goal of Nick Suzuki's running his third 300 game in NHL. Mission attack for Suzuki. Uh, it's amazing the way the Suzuki continues to stay healthy, or hopefully he will continue to be healthy for the Montreal Canadiens. And overall, a performance like Montreal last night, Mr. Tap, it's difficult to blame someone. Like it's
No,
diff-
you can't.
you know what I mean? Like some did not do at the same level, but it's a team effort for everybody at the end of the night. And I think this is the way. I think this game for me, Mr. Tap, it will helping the Montreal Canadiens to continue that way if you don't have no injury. But they live right now, Mr. We're going to talk about October. They live on the credit card right now. So when you talk about that, they do things that not normally should happen. So I'm going to talk about this the next couple of minutes, Mr. Tap. I'm going to give this not negative. I just give you the reality behind the Saints, what's going on. But we'll see what is going to happening in November. But overall, what a great performance, Montreal yesterday, because all of us, I don't know who was thinking Montreal can win against Vegas Golden Knight, whatever they got 1 point and not 2 point. But Vegas was out there again the Montreal Canadiens, the last 8 game are 5-0-3.
Yeah.
So
But they haven't blown them out in those games. If you look at all the results, Coach, they Montreal tends to play them very tight. I there's not much you can nitpick from yesterday's game. I mean, at the end of the day, you could say, you know what, um, 5 on 5, we're still there, not a problem. I mean, one of the goals was a power play goal. The other goal was the shootout winner. So nothing to be embarrassed about. They have areas that they can continue to improve upon, but I'm really proud of their 5 on 5. It's if it's not the best, it's one of the top five for sure in the NHL right now.
yeah, absolutely right. We're going to talk about this. I have all the stats on tap, and I'm going to share it with you. We'll be impressed by what I got, and I have more for coming from my next video tomorrow when you wake up. I'm going to have that video about the month of October. We have a question for Alain Vaillancourt, Mr. Tap. Anybody want to have a question, put the letter Q and we snap this. We will answer to you guys. And don't forget to click on the likes. And He asked you what you thought about the performance of Josh Anderson after 9 games and the first month in NHL.
It's a bit disappointing. I'll be honest with you. I, it's not that I have anything specific against Josh Allen. As a matter of fact, I like some of the characteristics that he brings to the table, but he's a very difficult line mate to play with. And I think you've alluded to that a couple times already. Anytime that anybody's played on the line with Anderson, their production has gone south. And we're seeing it with Slafkovsky. We're seeing it, with Newhook. When he was on the first line, we weren't seeing the first line producing as much. It's I don't know what the answer is. I'm hoping he can get some points because I still think there is interest in that type of a player in the NHL, especially in the playoffs. A guy that has speed, a guy that can use has physicalities, has a nice snapshot, and can score when he's around the net. He just hasn't done it so far this year. But if he can sort of build that up a little bit, uh, this could be a very interesting trade bait for Montreal. Last year I know they had interest. Some teams had interest in picking him up, but for whatever reason, I think Hughes really loves Anderson and didn't want to part with him at that time. But maybe this year might be a little bit different.
Yeah, he carry on first of all at 5 years, right? 4 years
Yeah,
contract at $5 million, 5.5. On his
the
own
money's no
style,
problem.
on his own style, right? He is a unique, like speed wise. You know what I mean? Like he can bring some stuff Montreal does not have. On the flip side, uh, for me, it does not show he is a top 6 players, and does not show me he should be on the power play. That's what
Exactly.
I can see after 9 games.
Yeah.
Not
You,
because he the work is sick. It's not because he tried to become a better overall players, right? If you want to use on special team, I'll be honest with you, he fit better on the PK
yeah,
compared to.
he could. He could. Yeah, because he's got that speed, and
But you have
he's
the
not
size, you
afraid
have the
to.
speed, you have a
Yeah.
good stick. It's
Yeah.
limited. The talent skill wise is limited on PK versus the other things. Um, Martin will work on him, try to show him to slow the game, try to put him, but at the end of the day, he had the same hands. Like they have he does not do much on the hands. He should have already 5 goals if he was just a guy can finishing to the net. It's a third line for the Montreal Canadiens, but right now Montreal does not have the kind of players to get the right people, the right roster at the same chair, at the chair, the front chair. So this is the problem
Yeah.
Montreal Canadiens had. Uh, if you trade him, but you lose a player we don't have, who can take his spot? This is the biggest problem after that. We talk about a 6'3", talk about a power forward, um, with kind of speed.
But
So this
the
is the big
problem is
question behind that.
the problem is, Coach. I mean, when it comes to Anderson, this guy has to score at least 20 to 25 goals for us. I know he has in the past, 19, 20, 21. And this year he's off to a slow start, so he's not anywhere on pace to do that. But he doesn't make it up in any other ways. Even his physicality, like some games, you can tell he's very present and he gets involved in the plays and he makes his presence known. Other games, I don't know. I see he disappears at times. Like he's very, very quiet. I'm saying if you're not getting points, at the very least, you could be making an impact physically, and trying to get in the dirty areas and creating opportunities for somebody else. And I just don't see that. And looking forward, like if we're looking at the picture of where Montreal is going to, I don't know if he fits into the plans, right? He's how old now? He's got to be at least 27, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, by the time Montreal's ready, he's close to 30 on the downside scale of his career. And if he's not scoring those goals, what do you do with him? So that's why I say if somehow he can build up his resume a little bit this year, um, and then they trade him at trade deadline time, I think that would make a huge difference.
But we
We
don't have
will have
anybody
we
to
will have
take.
players,
But we don't have anybody to take his spot. This is my biggest problem.
but I think we will. I mean, eventually Joshua Roy will be
He's not
ready.
6'3". He's not a forward, power forward.
No, no, he's not a power
But that's
forward.
that's the problem we get. Like that kind of Josh Anderson are unique on the lineup when you go to playoff, everything like that. He's a title player, can play on the third line. If you look about Nick Paul example, big center, right? Anderson's a winger, but his speed make another fun. I'm not talking about his salary cap and what you should do, but specific chair, specific role it would be hard because we don't have anybody in the prospect. You have to go maybe, and who knows what could happen. Luke Talk and Florian Jekai.
Yeah,
They are the only two winger right now are the prototype of Josh Anderson right now. That's it. That's all.
true,
We don't have
true.
anybody else. If you go in the market to find Josh Anderson, but you don't have a lot. What Anderson is good on the speed and a big winger 6'3".
Yeah, I totally agree. But would that not raise his value a little bit because he's so unique in that aspect? That's what I'm saying. Like you have to weigh it out at the end. I'm not saying that you just trade him away for nothing. Like I would not trade him if all we got was a second. If you're going to trade Anderson, I want to get at least the first out of it. And if it doesn't happen, then okay, we keep him. But I
Yeah,
think
but I
that there
don't
will
think
be
so. If
teams
someone
that,
would give a first round pick for him.
yeah, it'll be tough. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
You know what I mean? The way he played with that. We'll see what happens about that. We have a few people, guys, in the chat. We'll see what we got here. Mr. Tap. The next one said, what should they do with the cap space coming, coach? Well, they would pay the player they have to pay inside their team first, and then after that, they can look outside. But I'm not expect too much next year. I would still believe they are 1 year away after that to go really hard on the. I was watching a game Mr. Enortap Toronto, and they got destroyed right now badly. Toronto, like they came all over the map right now. Like
Still 3-0,
it's 3-0.
3-0. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see what happened about that one of that. We talk about Slafkovsky. We talk about this a bit later. Hopefully, and so Mr. Marko D is in the house, and I'll start right on the point as usual. Josh Anderson is played top minute. Cannot produce in the center again down at Slafkovsky. I would disagree with you. Anderson, guys, can anybody drop down Slafkovsky? This is like Coffin, Mr. Tabsky don't have a right winger. They cannot produce. They don't have a right winger. This is the job to produce the right winger with them. You don't reverse the. For me, this is the way. See that? If Sakaski just wait to get one Gretzky beside him to produce, this is not the way to do this. He should step up and to play at the level he should play, and not to wait because his other
Yeah.
player play
Yeah.
with him. He does not perform. Everybody waiting for Monahan to play with him. But what happened if he does not produce with Monahan? So who's next? It's Sakaski, his own responsibility to produce himself. It's anybody else. It's not because Anderson, it's not New Hook, it's not anybody. It's anyone. It's Sakaski. He need to improve what the area does not work with him right now. And for me, I disagree
Yeah.
with that comment. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I understand. I understand what you're saying. I think maybe more the point was, and you said this last night as well, that whoever plays on Anderson's line, the production comes down a little bit. And that's sort of what we're saying. But you're absolutely right. Like Slafkovsky has to create his own opportunities. It's you shouldn't just wait for Doc to come back or Monahan to come in and play with him. He has to create that as well. But there's some players that make their teammates better, and there's some players that don't. And I think, unfortunately, Anderson does not make his line mates better.
I agree with that one over there, for sure. We'll see. We'll get other plays. Mr. Sharks is in the house. Don't forget to click on the likes. Nice costume in our tap. Anderson should play on the four line with Gallagher and become Steve Bergeron, making him the most expensive four line in the league for Mark. Anyway, it's time to the Anderson does not pass the puck. It's always those into Russia. He makes it. It's a north south players for Allen. I get with him, but now he's with the sense to find a way. Huge opposite missing last night on put him on the shootout. Luciano, I don't know which one he's talking about. Mr. Paul is in the house. He keep his player safe, Paul. Willie Snyder, Mr. Tap. Happy Halloween, Mr. Willie.
Welcome, Willie.
Gary believe that Joshua Roy for me is already an NHL caliber. Allen, he make a count, Mr. Top. 26 kid now show up, I believe, Allen at the door. Uh, just wait for Danny. We top up in the next 20 minutes, Mr. Allen. Um, put your shrimp or cover your shrimp somewhere. He smelled it for miles before he knocked the door, Mr. Tap. About that, I agree. Is a solid player. It will be investment from passion and his development. William McClary. To talk about Slafkovsky a lot, Gary Joshua is great penalty killer for Paul. Anderson just need one goal to get started. Solving the first line and Val plays his key on the second line and centers. About that, Montreal fans are not mentally prepared for that yet. No, I don't think so. Mark, it's like you put Bergeron on the second line. At the end of the day, it's like put Sébastien Aho on the second line, put Barkov on the second line. That's that's the way to see that. That's that's simple about that one there because they don't have anybody can be center number one right now with Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah, if they had it, that's a different story. If they had somebody a little bit bigger and could win faceoffs, although he's been very good with that too this year, he hasn't been bad at all.
No,
That would make more sense, and it would really fortify your second line if that were the case.
for that one. Then John said John Tavares, he sounds fine, yes, because he got $11 million. Mark, he don't say anything about that one there. But ask John if you like to play on the first line. He would say yes for sure. About that, would you like to see the shootout gone and let the player go at it all in overtime until someone score? I would. No, not for me. Uh, Now you can remove the shootout, but I will not give overtime until you have a goal missing on top.
No, the NHLPA would never go for that. I mean, we're starting to see even the overtime. It's pretty much dominated by, I'd say, about six players that constantly play the entire 5 minutes in
It's
two
because
shifts.
you separate missing on top after the team on your bench after that.
That's right. And so you run the risk of more injuries. They're tired. Uh,
Yeah,
I mean, I understand the concept, and right, and I'm not a huge fan of the shootout either. But right now, that's what we have. What I would like to see is a different point structure, so
yeah,
that by the time it gets to a shootout, maybe it doesn't have the same significance as winning the game in regular time. But I don't know if we'll ever see that.
exactly about that one there. Mike D said, Monahan is first line center. It's funny you talk about this, Mark, because Monahan have zero goal this year, missing on top, 5 assists, 5. So you put your center number one and the lineup, like Monahan, you have zero goal and 9 game, 5 assists, 5.
Yeah.
My point to
I mean,
you,
he's got the skills. He's got the skills, and no doubt about that. I think He's very creative. We saw yesterday he's opportunistic as well, and it doesn't matter what line he's on, he finds a way to contribute. It doesn't matter who his partners are, but he finds a way to create something out of nothing. So
Now,
that part I can see, but maybe not necessarily
now,
on the
Mr.
first.
Tap, which line he play right
Yeah.
now?
Well, he's on the third right now.
So
He's
that line, Mr. Tap, do he play against the best line opponent team, or they play with
no,
the bottom six example?
exactly.
Do you think
Yeah.
Person have a good year so far? How many goals he has?
I think he's up to
Three.
5. Oh,
Three
3.
goals.
Sorry.
Right?
Yeah.
Gallagher, how many goals? Two. So what Monahan does, he carry on that line. He stabilize the 9 forward over there. That's what he
Yeah.
does, Monahan. The work is coming, Mr. Tap. Now you're going to make the switch. You're going to have more players. If Monahan go to the first line, second line, you're going to have like Gallagher and Pearson going to disappear. For
Well,
me,
you'll
I would
have
not move the Monahan along. I would keep Monahan there in the middle. I would bring the Varak and the center number two, and I will keep the same way with that. I have a better 9 forward to balance against any other team. That would be my solution about that. And until something does not work.
Yeah, no, I see that. I see your point. It's just sometimes like you like to have that one line where you really don't ever have to worry. And right now, pretty much we don't. Uh, there's nights that the first line is dominant, and there's other nights that it isn't. The second line right now is a bit of a mess. The third line is fairly solid. The fourth line does what they have to do in terms of energy and physicality, and they can contribute from time to time
Yep.
offensively. But if you want to solidify that first line, I mean, we saw him in that position last year with Suzuki and Caulfield. So it's not the end of the world. I just want to make sure he's definitely on the power play, because I think it makes a world of difference when he goes either in front of the net. He plays it properly. Anderson does not when he's in front of the net. And then also when he plays the bumper position and he goes around behind the net, he makes excellent choices with his passes, and that allows guys like Caulfield and Suzuki and the defenseman, usually Matheson, to interchange. And we saw that yesterday. The forward would come back, the defenseman would come in, and then that would open up a few seconds for a good shot.
Mark said Phil Kessel can score more goals at Josh Anderson Gallagher. Possible, Mark. But I don't understand why your Boston Bruins, the team you love the most, why they don't sign Phil Kessel. I feel it would be great to play with Marchand, with that team. Or they'd be really entertaining to have a hot dog and to have a big nose on the other side of the winger. I think it would be fun to Mark to get Phil Kessel with Boston Bruins. Now he cannot wear number 88 because Basnag had it. Maybe number 8 over there. He cannot because I think it was retired number. But at the end of the day, Phil Kessel is looking for a job, Mr. Enortap. Maybe we
Uh,
should buy a franchise. Gary said that I think a well balanced line is the key for the Habs success so far. Ab haven't been on cap space, not right now, but next couple of years can score more goal than Josh Anderson. We said that. I cannot sign Cassell, not enough for hot dog at the Bell Center, but the hot dog are great. I get here you go. Leon is agree with me about that. The Bruins should grab Phil Cassell. Mr. Robert M is in the house. Welcome in the house. Here we go. For that one there. I disagree with you, Mark. If you talk about goal last year, Josh Anderson had 19 goals versus Phil Cassell at 14. And Phil Cassell, how many games he played in the playoff? Mr. Mark D about that one. Here we go. Until play for 9 minutes. Uh, so that's happening about this. Pesada only have one shift at the third period last night for Aden Vayanko. For that.
he shortened
And
the bench.
If Kessel was a bit, I can say, would be playing now. So Gary Connoyer, because he is want to play with Patrick Kane. Here we go. RDP is in the house. The cap will be going up, but for how long? Look at the attendance game around the league without one seed. The cap cannot continue to increase. Zero and zero 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 affect guys the people in the stand.
It's all about the TV.
It's all about the
Uh,
TV contract. That's all.
yeah,
That's only there about this. Josh for the first for sure, but there are no point at this time. Kessel just want to play the playoff. Now he just want to get a rank. So what he's looking about that one over there. Kessel is the most well. I don't know why we talk about Phil Kessel and Mr. Tap anyway. I heard that Slafkovsky is not pushing himself to get better. He's only been pushed by the coach Martin Saint Louis.
I disagree. I
Yeah, me
disagree.
too.
He's very much the type of player that wants to do better, and he pushes himself to the limit. And like we've said before, like we have to give this guy some time. Like I personally like the improvement I've seen from last year to this year. All right. Maybe it's not translating so much in points, but at least he's doing a lot of the little things right. The rest will come as soon as he learns to play, grows into his body because he's a big boy, and he learns the North American game a little bit more. He's noticed he hasn't had his head down as much as he had last year. So like these are all little things that we take for granted, but they're improvements in his game, and that takes time.
You're absolutely right about that. Ron Wickham, Mr. Tap is in the house. Welcome to be with the Hockey Nation Live Show. About that, one of them. Vegas have two shots on the second, and on the third, that's seven shots on the net for agreement best team in NHL. For that one, the Habs are invested long term with Suzuki. Use is not people are exactly about that one over there. That's the reason I said that earlier. I don't get this issue with Suzuki been on the second line. It's not an issue. You create the issue, Mark. Montreal Canadiens are great. They're all fine with Suzuki Caulfield together. You want to them to be split. Martin St. Louis or Ken Hughes or anybody in Montreal Canadiens does not have no problem to put Suzuki and Caulfield together. They produce together. You're the one want them to be split. So I don't know why you try to bring the fans of the Montreal Canadiens. They like to have both together and they produce together. So why you want to split them? That's my point behind that.
Yeah.
Uh, to make the OT at the minute, you want list the same six player on the ice. Right now, he played with the Gallagher and Pearson about that. How many goals does Ski have by playing on the first line? I think I have two goals right now, and
Two.
seven,
Yeah.
8 point, I believe, in 9 game. Mark, we have a same kind of number of the goal like Barkov and other players in NHL for that. We let them play for 10 minutes, and if the game is still die, then end up at the tie. Yeah, could be that direction, but I like the formula they have right now.
Yeah.
On that one. Triple, I forgot Slafkovsky on the first, and Suzuki stay on number one for sure. I would still see a tie. I have the watcher, then the watcher shootout. That's pretty much what the people had. Some career, but Montreal need to concentrate development, young players. I don't agree with you about this one. Born to Ab is on the house, Mr. Tap. Coach in the line when they are not need. Ski has no respect for no Ab fans. About that, Mr. Rick Bengal, Mr. Tap is in the house. Give thanks to be with the Hockey Nation Live Show.
Hey, Rick.
Specifically, this not split ski Caulfield. Exactly, I believe. And I don't get, but we will agree, disagree about that one. And ski Caulfield should never be split up. I don't know who said never split up, but I don't see the necessity right now. On the, I'm not, I don't, on ounce. Suzuki and Caulfield can play on the power play together. Yeah, they do too. On that one. Agriculture, I hope Bronze 5 à seul. Here we go. We'll see when Patrick Kane goes. This will be interesting what Patrick Kane goes. Nicolas Goubi-Bono, Mr. Tap, is in the house tonight. Followed by Mr. Adam Berger is in the house tonight. Montreal play tough against the Vegas. Adam, yeah, I agree with you.
I
Uh,
sure did.
I agree with you. Mr. Abination is in the house, guys. Don't forget to click all of the likes. Mr. Sean McIntyre is in the house. Hi, guys. The app need to get rid of Anderson and try and get true players that can play on the top six and just don't fit.
It goes back to what we were saying earlier, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Unfortunately, I mean, he's very unique in what he brings to the team, right? Unless you get the right return, I wouldn't do it. But if you
you
did get
need
the
to
right
get
return, I would not hesitate.
first what Sean said is right, right? We all agree with
Yeah,
what his comments, right? Now, what you get
yeah,
in return is like you have to get a top six in return.
yeah,
You know what I mean? You're not going to get the Alien Peterson, but you're going to get more second players in NHL in return. I don't know
yeah,
which team. I don't know where you want to, you know what I mean? Like, but that's
yeah.
a good
You'd have to
comment.
look through.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
Going to the tell. Play for a game in the playoff. For that, I feel like I get on your head. Just need to mention is what the absolute legend. King showing the leave all defensive hockey win cups. How about this? So now we have a question. That an Alconnor brother plays Saturday, he will receive a $3.25 million bonus on his 750 contract next year. This goes against the cap Utah.
yes, it does. Right for next year, though, if I'm not mistaken. I think you once told me about the bonus and how that works. That
Yeah,
it goes in against their salary cap for the following year, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So if I can get there, I will show to you, but I don't think so. I don't think I can get it, but uh,
Yeah, I mean, right now Edmonton has him on the cheap. Like he's at 775,000. Unfortunately, he hasn't really responded yet in terms of production, and he's been moved around quite a bit. But then the entire Edmonton team hasn't been what they could be at this stage.
yeah, exactly. About that one, I was just try to show to you from line, but I cannot get it on my other computer about that.
Yeah.
For that, uh, um, let's move on, guys. No reason to ski at Caulfield. Jimbo is in the house. Welcome back, Jimbo. Mr. AK knocked the door. Welcome back,
Thank
AK.
you.
About that one there, while we were about Ablanat, the Bruins fan. I think the Ab are excited to watch every year. That's why they are singing for it. Irene, welcome in the house. Irene, big fan of the Nashville Predator, Mr. Enortap. They play tonight against the
Mm.
Vancouver Canucks. Mr. Enortap. Mr. Marko Larabie is in the house. Mr. Enortap, we welcome him and we want to wish him speed recovery. He went to see the dentist, Mr. Enortap, today.
It went where? Sorry,
He visited the dentist.
dentist.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. That's the
Hopefully, it
reason
was
he's a
just for
bit
a
behind the
cleaning.
scenes tonight. He is on the injury reserve.
Uh,
Question: time to split up 17, 15, and 20.
uh,
You hook Anderson, and
yeah, yeah.
I
I
will not do it again. I have one more game to go, right? Thursday.
yeah.
Then they were coming
That's
back Saturday, and that's after that. I will expect that.
You'll have more flexibility once Dvorak is back in. At that point, yes.
But then, guys, it's we react something where we have three line works and we have one line does not work, and we want to destroy the one that doesn't work. To destroy three line is working. Does it make sense?
Yeah, I mean, it makes more sense if you have somebody coming up, and you sort of want to maybe switch somebody in and out of that. That could work. I could see that, but I'm not sure. Just you start mixing that up, then you start messing around with the chemistry of the other lines.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Thanks so much. A2, hopefully you're doing well. Mr. Roger Delaney is in the house. Consider to fill up all the likes. The Browns are copy pass from a year ago, and it will tell Spar apart in the playoff again. Will be interesting to see that. Pierre Martin is in the house. It's Josh Anderson, one trick pony, very predictable. Why does he shot a bit on the goalie? Let pad 75% of the time. Yeah, Pierre, it's happening about that one of them. Mr. Tap, let's talk about October. I'm going to have a couple of great things for you, Mr. Tap. So let's talk about month of October for Montreal Canadiens. 5-2 and
Okay,
2, 12 point and 18 game, Mr. Tap, an 18 possible point, and they are 6 in NHL.
that's right.
Did you think that way?
Did I think that they'd be there? Not necessarily. Um, I again, I thought that maybe they would be improved for over last year in their record, but look at where they are. I mean, you can come up with reasons why they're there. I think the goaltending has really stolen maybe two or three of those games so far. Um, there has been improvement as well. That's the part that I'm more interested in seeing. Um, but it's early, right? Like it's only 9 games right now. Usually, let's wait till about the 20th game before we can make a true assessment. But I don't think that they'll maintain that pace. I think that they'll be very competitive day in and day out, every game that they play. But things will eventually start to happen, and it could be injuries, it could be the trade deadline time, could be a trade prior to that. Something happens usually that if you're not careful, will bring down the team for whatever reason, right? So
Yeah.
we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. But I think that that's a fantastic record for the first 9 games that they've played.
Great point for Sean McKenna said that Anderson Pitret traité at the deadline, and then that money can go to Sean Monahan. Great point about that one. Then we'll come back, Roger Delaney. Joseph Phillips is in the house. And don't forget, Mr. Jimbo. We're going to talk about Slafkovsky again the next couple of minutes, so stay around. We only barely talk about him. It's more the chat talk about Slafkovsky. We're going to get it. Dvorak goes between Anderson and Slafkovsky. Newhook goes to the top line, and RHP on the 4 line take out Pesada for Joseph Phillips. About that one or that. LA wearing the Liberis uniform tonight. It's Halloween, that's the reason. Leaf can score goal with all these millions on the top 6 for that. Jimbo says Slafkovsky can be big in Laval. He cannot be himself in the NHL, but in Laval for sure. And they need him. He will get play bigger over there. Marco Darby, I think you are on to something. Joseph, about that one over there. Then we're going to see we have any other comments. Question here: how many minutes for Pesel last night?
I don't recall. I think it was maybe 12,
Oh no, 7.
7. It was less. Yeah, yeah, because he didn't play much of the third period. They double teamed a lot of their top 2 line players. Um,
Yeah.
was it 7 minutes?
So again,
7 minutes?
I'm looking now.
Yeah, yeah, it was. It was.
6:31 the center of that.
Yeah, yeah.
So better
But that's
Pacific
not
game.
that's not the kind of game that makes him most effective, right? I think I could see why that's the case. If you get a game that you're playing maybe against a team like Boston, or is a little bit more physical, you're going to see him playing more ice time.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that one there. Rick said that I was celebrating with pleasure last year next season is year number 3. What is contract offer next year? But you not get a contract next year, Rick. You still have 1 more year to go. So you have to go on the season 2025, 2026. And the reason he played only 39 game and he have only 10 points, and it look like this year is not going nowhere. He had no power to get a lot of money in return. Usually, those kind of players get a $1 million, 1.5, and I was his agent. I would do that direction, and I would go with only maybe 1 year, and that's it. That's all to see if he can produce more after that. But we still far away to get his contract right now for him. See, Charles was very totally wonderful. McCarr. Uh, on that one. Coffee, okay, isn't out. Hello, coach. Always Patrick fan, but now a new account. Awesome. Coffee. Don't forget to click on that. Mr. Roger, Mr. Tap is in the house tonight. Roger, thanks to be with us. I appreciate that. For that one event, surprised to see where they are in the standing and without dark for Bon and Bon, Bon and Abs about this one. Mr. Tap, we're going to consider here the player of the month, Mr. Tap, in October for the Montreal Canadiens is.
Uh, I'm thinking of giving it to a goalie. Really, I'll be honest with you. I think that, like I said earlier, I think both goalies have stolen about 3 games, three maybe four. I thought I would say maybe Allen at this stage, but I'm always weary with Allen. Like, I know he's very dependable. It's just that you have to make sure not to give him a lot of ice time, because he doesn't usually play well when he gets that volume of work. So I like what they're doing right now, and they're sort of giving everybody a bit of a rest. And I anticipate, I still think maybe Primo might play one of the next 2 games. So we'll see. We'll see.
Great point about that, Mr. Tap. My play on the month of October, Willie Snyder going to go with Suzuki about that one over there. Roger Delay go with Suzuki for the month of the October, Mr. Tap. Gary Connolly go with Suzuki too. Wow, surprisingly, Mr. Tap. 3 people go with Suzuki, 3 of them. Andy go with Adam. But
Yeah,
I thought someone would pick up my play, Mr. Tap.
Gooley. No,
Uh,
who?
no. Mr. Tap. Sean Monahan is my player
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
year of the month of October. And Mark D said, I don't like Monahan. I like Monahan, Mr. Mark D,
yeah.
about that one over there. 5 goals this month, Mr. Top, at 9 game, 3 on power play, 2 on shot and bid. He maybe did the easy goal, shot and done goal yesterday against the Vegas Golden Knights in the Eastern in the NHL. Sorry, although the fact is an empty net with the pass of Adam Hill. I think Hill got his a point from the goal at one end. You have to give a point. The NHL should give the point as a pass. He has eight point in 9 game.
Hmm.
Sorry about that. Don't get excited with my end, Mr. Tap. 8 point in 9 game. He have a face-up percentage, guys, of 60.5, 6 in NHL.
Remarkable.
And this is the reason is my plus with for me, it was the player with the most consistency since the beginning of the season. So I would like to hear from you what you think about Sean Monahan, Mr. Enortap.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, I would not disagree at all with that. As we said earlier, he's been able to fill in gaps wherever we've needed him, and he constantly does produce. The key thing always with him has always been about his health, right? And as long as he can stay healthy, he's going to be contributing all year long, and then you're going to have some very interesting decisions to make towards the end of the year.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that one over there. We have a couple of people. We have Alan said Sean Monahan. Pierre Martin said Alan, Mr. Natal for Pierre Martin. William McKay got Jake Allen for on that one. Abination go with Monahab about that one over there. Nicholas, he said, I'm going with Coach and Enortap. I don't want to them one put one of them upset. Monahan or Allen or Evans is key. Not a clear out, but those 3 amount at the top. Another point. Allen are very good right now. Monahan for me, for Jimbo. I send behind the captain, Gary Connoyer. Le joueur du mois, Jake Allen for Nicolas de Goubi-Bono. Monahan, player of the month for Bar. And that's a great, great guy. And this is a question of the night, Mr. Tap, of the player of the month. Here we go, Mark. You can see I like Monahan, Mark. For that one of that. Love the costume. Steve G is in the house. Steve G. Le joueur de moi, sachant que les Youngers se
Robinson.
démarquent d'accord avec toi, mon Nicolas. Monahan knows how to get where he needs to be. A great pick, coach Pierre Martin. Thanks so much. Good of the month was Anaheim shorthanded. Visit Pittsburgh last night with 15 seconds to love it. Love it. Want to go for Habs go. Jumbowski is very present for me. Such a strong player. Good player, but not fast like he was before. Ren Riley play his 1,000 main game tonight. 8 to go with Caulfield. First one said Cole Caulfield, Mr. Anta.
Well, he's been dynamic. There's no doubt about that. He scored some key goals, game winners, two of them in overtime. I mean, you can't argue with that. It's just that when it's 5-on-5, he's a little bit more limited that way because of the defense that he draws all the time, and I wouldn't put him at the same level right now as where Monahan is.
Look, he like to be funny. Go with Mike Madison, Mr. Anta. The only one said Mike Madison. Look, Lafortune.
Yeah, you know what? Matheson has been showing spurts, like times when he's really absolutely fantastic, and then other times when he does make some mistakes. But
What a
I
poster.
wouldn't argue. I wouldn't argue with that. I mean, you look at yesterday, defense wise. I'm pretty sure it was Gooley that drew the most ice time, and he played a solid game. You didn't hear from him in terms of production, but he played a very very solid game. Um, I I think Harris has really come around quite a bit and is drawing more and more time. He's very reliable. We know about Kovacevic, so the defense is really starting to round up in our favor. So they just have to continue. It's a lot of hard work, and they're all young players.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Roger Collette talk about the Gallagher. I think Gally play his own role. If you put him on those roles with 12, 30 minutes per game, Roger, he's going to be fine at the end of the night. But if you go over that, that's my biggest problem for him, Roger. But you're right about this. It's not helping. Caulfield actually won some board battle last game. That was probably the most excited thing I saw ever in top. He was not that flashy about that one. There great comments about that one there, Mr.
Yeah.
Top. Not done yet, Mr. Top. We have more things to talk about. Let's move on here for the month of October. I have more things to talk because I think I'm coming very soon. Mr. Top, what the reason are the Montreal Canadiens are the success right now? Is it the goalies, the power play, the face-off, or the 5 versus 5 for the Montreal Canadiens this year for the month of October? And I'm going to bring you on the graphic with fun information, if you don't mind. I'm going to give more information today, later on my video, or today, tomorrow for you guys, today for me. But let's talk about this, and I want you to comment about what I'm going to bring to you on that one, if I
Okay.
can find it. If I find it, Mr. Top, we're going to be fine. If it's not, we
Okay.
will be in trouble about that one over there. Not headlines, Montembeault power play, medicine, come back, precision, Mr. Top. I lost the graphic. It's not good news about that. I have too many graphics, Mr. Top. This is the problem I got. I need to delete some of them. Uh, I was supposed to say the Ab October, Mr. Tap. Where is
Okay.
Ab October, Mr. Tap? Here we go. I got it. It was just right there
You got it.
behind. I tried to go around. It was just in front of us. So, Mr. Tap, we're going to get here. It will do like that. As October. Montreal Canadiens, Mr. Tap, 5 versus 5 are the number one in NHL.
Not surprising.
Montreal
Yeah.
Canadiens, with all the three goalies, Mr. Tap, they are number one on the GSVA, goal save
Save
above,
percentage.
right? And they are
Yeah.
plus 12 and 9 games. So they should give 12 more goals, Mr. Enortap, since the beginning of the season. And they did not. And that's the reason Toronto scored the first goal. John Tavares, by the way. That's what happening, Mr. Enortap.
Him on the
Uh,
first line.
this is the reason why the Montreal they are. You want more information, Mr. Enortap?
Let's do it. Yeah. That one's no surprise. This
Montembeault
one's no
at
surprise.
5 versus 5, Mr. Enortap. Montembeault, 985. He is a number one goaltender in NHL at 5 versus 5. Jake Allen is at 963. Top 5 in the NHL. This is the reason why October was looking good in Montreal. Agree or disagree?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Goaltending's number one. Yeah.
So that's what I believe. This is Willie. I feel like he's crazy about that. Let's move on.
Number three.
What does not work?
Power play still there.
That remember what Marko talked about the time and the defensive zone?
Defensive zone. Yeah.
There you go. They are at 43.2% in defensive zone. They are above of the average in the NHL. I don't have the NHL edge does not give me the ranking. They give me the percent, but it's not working. Like, you don't tell me they are
Yeah.
number 16, 17, or 18. The average in NHL guy is 40.7. So, it's only 3%. It's huge. It's not like
A lot. Yeah.
a time position, right? It's huge. So this is one reason Montreal struggled about that one there. This is not a good news for the Montreal Canadiens. Secondly,
That doesn't surprise me though, Coach. I mean, like we said, we do have a very young defensive core, and they are going to create turnovers and lose the puck from time to time. They're battles that they eventually will improve on. So I anticipate that to decrease in the future because as they gain more experience and develop, that that will offset it a little bit. But yeah, that's a very interesting one.
the next thing Mr. Hunter want to talk about is that they are 5 in the block shot, 163, and they are number one, Mr. Hunter, on the turnover, 105.
Yeah.
So they are at 5-2, right? And you have some performance. The goaltender should not be that way, right? Because they
Yeah.
make big save and front the net, a big opportunity. They make a big save, a 2 versus 1, like Montembeault make a big save. Jake Allen on the save on the back door against Jeff Skinner, a big save. I can go away like that. My
Yeah.
point behind that is, do you believe they can? Because it's like they just survive right now. They not like play well, but the fact they have good performance on different area of the game, they make this happening at 5-2. This is maybe a red flag a long term for the Montreal Canadiens. I don't see both goaltender going to be at that level. The GSVA, this is a stat where they give you the right things or the bad thing in defensive zone, and they really not looking good on defensive zone right now to keep up what kind of performance until the end of the season.
Yeah. The way I'm looking at it, though, Coach, is those numbers that I see in front of me right now. At least they represent improvement over last year. And I mean, we didn't even talk about the power play and the penalty kill just yet, but those are two areas that they've improved in as well. So for every little bit that they incrementally increase upon every category, you're going to see a much more competitive team and a team that could put together months like they did this particular month. But you're right, some of them are not sustainable over the long term. And I think also the defense, like I said, the defense, yeah, they're young, but I think, and yesterday we saw this happening. The forwards were dropping back to help the defense out quite a bit, especially in clearing the puck out of their own end. And so that's why you noticed. I mean, it would be interesting to see the stats from yesterday's game. How much time did Vegas spend in Montreal's end zone? Because I bet you it's nowhere near 43.2%. And that's because it was like an entire team effort. They came back to help out the defenders when they got into trouble. They gave them that outlet pass to go to, and it makes it a lot easier when you do that.
You're absolutely about that one over there. And more stats going to be on the video today. What it worked for Montreal Canadiens doesn't work. The power play is at 14, I believe, in NHL. Not too bad.
That's okay.
That's not the
Yeah,
work in the end split of Montreal Canadiens, the PK, and I can give you all the stuff like that. I want to thank Jerry to sharing a couple of information about that today, and I go a little bit more deeper after that for that information, Mr. Tap. So honestly, this is the reason behind that. Goalie face off and 5 versus 5, Mr. Enortap. The next thing I want to talk about, Montreal Canadiens, it's not for all the Suzuki, but we'll keep this quiet now, Mr. Enortap, because we're not done for the month of October. I think I have one more thing to talk about. Monahan, the road the line contract. We're going to talk about this the next 15 minutes, guys. But because the subject of the night, Mr. Enortap, it was what? The resilience team, the Montreal Canadiens. I want to give us a little bit more information about that. 6 of the 12 points, Mr. Enortap, half of what they are coming for trailing after the second period. It's not good when you think about that because when you trail, you're running, right? You're chasing. And you want to be better to be in control of the game, everything like that. Not negative here, but it's not a perfect scenario if you want to have a long, great season in NHL. Does it make sense?
yeah, absolutely. And plus, what you're doing is you're taxing your top players because usually in that third period, you're going to double team your best players and put them out there to try to get that tying goal or that winning goal, and that's what we're sort of seeing right now.
I'm sorry about that. Born to answer the question, Mr. Tap, I will answer it back after you. What do you think? Will they be buyer or seller?
I think they're sellers. I think that's again, we can't lose sight of what the overall rebuild is about. And they still, as much as we've shown some improvement, there's still some areas that need to be cleaned up. And I don't mean just within their play. I'm talking about some of the contracts that they have. And so if they can clear some of those and create some space for themselves and maybe bring up a player or two this year, draft well again this summer, then you're going to start seeing it make a huge difference.
Well said about that. Can you said that question at the beginning of the season? You said we're not going to change the plan. So the plan
No,
is rebuilding. The plan is stay there. Whatsoever Montreal are going to be maybe 2, 3 points behind, whatever it is. That would be the fact. So would be interesting what he can honestly. From Elliot Philman, Mr. Tap, his stats and number of first, Montreal should play the playoff. He should make the playoff now.
yeah,
The up,
well, it's not going
the
to
up
happen.
is 4. Uh, Mr. Tap for about 5, 6 minutes, 7 minutes. Toronto was all over the map of the
Is it still 3-1?
Kings. It was again the Kings. They scored a goal 3-1, and now the Kings they got an opportunity, a turnover, and then they score right away, and now it's 4-1, Mr. Tap, and that's it. That's all. Uh, Very interesting, guys. Kemp score right there, but Byfield play on the first line. By the way, we'll talk about this a little bit better. But this has happened across the NHL now. 2 goal led no longer save in NHL. Yeah, I'm sorry about
That's
this,
true.
Marco. It stopped last season, but do it in the way the Montreal does it. Um as a team should not be
It's
that way. This is what for me is a show a character of them I was not expect at the beginning of the season. What do you
right.
think?
It's very taxing on the players to have to play from behind. As a matter of fact, I heard the stat the other day that whoever scores the first goal stands a 70% chance of winning the game. And so if you put yourself in behind the eight ball right from the beginning, it means you're going to tax your players during the course of the year. And right now, Montreal's not built where they can come at you like some of these other offensive juggernauts of teams that have that, you know, top two lines that can all score and come at you. Right now, they have some, you know, decent players that can do it, and they have shown that they can do it, which is a good sign of their resilience and their character. But it's something that we should try to avoid.
Yeah, absolutely about that. I agree with you. We just want to sharing about the Montreal Canadiens what they accomplished since the beginning of the month October. 5-2-2. Great team. They come back many times. They honestly, I think you have two game of the 90 play Minnesota and the Devils where they was very and difficult um, or bad game or not really there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, one of them came right after the or not Dvorak,
That
but a Dak injury, and so
yeah.
I think that was more of a just a shock to the general team, and so they didn't come out really ready for that game. And the Minnesota game, I thought, again, if you look at 5-on-5, we didn't lose that game. It was the penalty kill and the power play that failed us in that game.
You're absolutely about that one there. They have to go from Caulfield and overtime. That's because you need to keep both ends on his stick. Pierre Martin about that one there. Good observation, Pierre. The
Yes,
Rick Zinnick style about this one over there. Let's go. Let's go. We have two more points on top to talk about before we be the end of the show tonight. Add October. It's not for all. Josh Anderson has zero goal, one assist, exactly like Juraj Sokoski. Then you have RHP zero goal, but you have four assists overall for RHP. Three players looking for, but at the end of the day, the biggest question, it was the question last yesterday for my poll question. What do you do with Juraj Sokoski? Now, someone bring on the table earlier in the chat, I think it was Sean McIntyre or someone else. If you send Sokoski and Laval, he has to stay there all year long because if you call him back, he have a $3.5 million bonus next year. $3.5 million.
yeah, yeah,
So I don't think Montreal want to do that. That was a great deal from the agent of the guy did it for Sokoski. But at the end of the day, Mr. Tap, give us a bit an observation about Juraj Sokoski overall for October and what's the best for him. Disregard if he was no signings bonus.
look, maybe last year we could sort of circle back to it and say things weren't handled as well as they could have been. I think it's a totally different issue this year. Again, we're looking at a player that is still in a growing phase. This this guy will be a very good, productive player for many years to come. He's just got to be given the opportunity. It's not going to come easily because it's a huge process of acclimatizing himself to the North American hockey game versus where he was from, and so the ice rink is smaller. You for many years, I mean, he was a giant over everybody else, so it didn't matter if he had his head up or down. I mean, he would totally dominate in terms of battles. And now he's starting to see that it's not going to come easily, and he has to really work at it. But from what I can gather, his work ethic is very good. He's very teachable, coachable. I think that he wants to do better, and he's dedicated to that. Right? He doesn't have an ego. I don't see that. As a matter of fact, I wish he would from time to time, instead of thinking pass all the time, I wish he would shoot a little bit more because that's where he's going to get his confidence. Once he puts in a one or two goals at the beginning, you're going to see it's going to have great resonating factors for him down the road. The problem is, where do you play him, right? I would give him a shot at some point on that first line, but you can't keep him there just for 4 or 5 games. I think you have to give him a fair chance, like maybe a month or a little bit longer, to see if he can handle it. If he can't handle it, then you bring him down with an experienced player to play along with him that will sort of be very uh, coachable. Like he's coachable, but somebody that will coach him along the way. And I'm thinking like a Monahan or a Dvorak, or when Doc was there at Doc, although he has less experience. But uh, I think we just have to be very patient with Slafkovsky.
Yeah. I read a couple of comments. So that is funny. I tried to put shoot more in my
Shoot
comments,
more,
right?
yes. Yeah.
And
I,
but YouTube channel blocked me, blocked my comments.
why?
They delete my comments.
Oh,
I don't know the word shots. Shot is a problem, but if I
maybe
put,
it's a violent word.
I don't know. Like I try to do that. I don't know if someone can put this like shoot the puck, like shoot more.
Shoot the puck. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that, but maybe
Because
they're
if I put like funny my post, the I go through. But I have three unknown is because I put the word shot in my post.
say it in French.
I don't know. Lancer au filet.
Let's say
Can they
we.
still send Sakowski to the World Junior Championship, Monsieur Enortap?
I uh I'm not sure about that. I think
Yeah.
they can. I think they
Yes. One
can.
more
But
year.
do you think do you think it would benefit him?
If they can send him a Laval, what I see yesterday, Mr. Enortap, frustration Sakowski last night on the bench. Like upset on the bench, like he leave the eyes of frustration, everything like that. Now it become not a skill, it become a mindset, a mental problem. He
Yeah,
need now the support, not Martin Saint Louis. He need to be sure not 85 people coach him right now.
yeah.
Because when you have a problem like that, everybody wants to give him a tip. Once you tell him, you should do that. Oh, you should do that. You should shoot more puck. Oh, you should go that direction. You go do that. And sometimes you need to block the noise around you and just believe on one person. Who it is, I don't know. It may be a teammate inside the locker room. It could be a specific coach. It could be Burrows. It could be Ledusky. It could be Rabinas. But right now, he is on the. For me, he's right now in the adversity in front of him, where that's pressure is coming. Logan Coley performed in Arizona. He cannot compare himself with him, but he's 19 years old, Mr. Top. You look also what's going on around. You have the pressure to be the first overall pick. The people expect him at some point. The fans are not over him, but starting left and right on the social media, on the radio station, on the TV station, they are questionable about the performance. He did not score, in the last 30 game now
Yeah.
for Sakowski. So some people you have a better chance. He played guys from the third line, fourth line at 10 minutes, play on the second line now. He got 30 minutes. I don't blame him. I don't want to put the blame on him. But at some
No,
point,
and nor should we.
he need to bring those kind of about that one. And Domi guys is frustrated tonight. Like Max Domi guys, he tried to fight Roy. Now he's just slash. And then Pierre-Luc Dubois is on the ice, pushing left and right. And now we have
Yeah, look out.
middle of that Kevin Fiala. And you see Boston, Toronto Maple Leafs frustrated, and the Kings laugh at them. They're cross-checking in the back of the Domi against Fiala. And now slashing around. Now Dubois show up in front of Domi. And that's going on right there. So I don't know
Yeah.
about that one over there. Uh, let's see what the people said. Sakowski has a big percentage. He would be able to be himself, stronger, but big road rocket need him too high and to be. defensive player and not in the rebuild. The problem, Jimbo, if you go Laval, it's over. He cannot come back this year.
Right.
Is it the best thing? I'm not sure about that. I would love
I
if
don't
he
think
can
so.
go there for a couple of weeks, 2, 3 weeks, to coming back. That would be something. William Suzuki has a big frame. Most larger, younger players skate on the outside edge. The ancient is a game on the cutback inside edge work if you come for him. About that one over there for William. I predict the Dallas Star will win the Stanley Cup. This will be their year for
Good.
Adam Jack.
I like them as well.
It's a
They're a
team
good.
could be considered about that one.
Yeah.
Um, Gary said Slafkovsky will learn next to Nathan by going to the American. Martin as a slap back, and the NHL is the best for him for Gary Conroy.
Yeah. I agree, Gary. I think he should remain here and work through things while he's with the team. I
I
mean,
like this.
a lot of the stars, coach, like we see they get off, very few get off to a great start and sustain that over the rest of the year, let alone their career. Some players take a couple years before they can properly develop, and he happens to be one of those.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that one there. Abination is a great. Look at for him, Mr. Type, he hates some smoke octopus.
Oh, some octopus. I got some here for him.
There we go. Be careful, Mr. Type, you're the next one on the table. Um, we have Leon Renault. Live Crazy, Sing Dummy above Rave Bum Bum. Rave was on the first goal because of him. Miss Rain, they just add a tragic situation and mine. Social media is hypersensitive for Rain. Leave getting a school tonight by LA for A2. Tommy has his heart. Add the money up, traveling, find job. They pick Slavim and send 400 other guys. Be better work out of the someone got out with that same thing, not the 400 abination. It's too early about that one. Adfen are going to freak when they see Cooley. Stay off at Twitter about that one. And Dano is a leaf killer. Marko Darabi scoring the goal tonight. 8-2, Mr. Tap. We send Slafkovsky to Laval to become a duo with Arouet, and then we bring them both up together. Kid is playing okay, but it would be not hurt to play more in Laval.
Well, we assume that they'll make a good combination. That remains to be seen. If first of all, second of all, we talked about the fact that I don't think it's worthwhile to bring him down and not return him back up at some point in the year. Um, they're all factors working against him going down to Laval. I think he should remain here. Maybe the World Juniors might help him if we still see he hasn't progressed nearly to the effect that he or to the level that he should. Uh, but I have a sneaky suspicion he's gonna slowly start to put this together.
Yeah. Anybody knows what's the next game? Vancouver. Anybody is on TSN Sport now? I'm too lazy to looking.
When it is, what time?
No, the game.
0-0 right now. Nashville and Vancouver.
Yeah, but which
Yes.
channel?
Oh, I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's was my question about that. I was just checking
Yeah,
ESPN.
yeah.
Um, I have I have like I got this yesterday, Mr. Tap. I got the IPTV yesterday.
Uh huh.
Amazing.
Good. Good. Yeah.
Uh, $60, Mr. Tap. If someone want to have information about that, just email me or text me or call me. I will helping you about that. That's crazy. Spend so much money on the TV channel, everything like that. You can get everything. NHL, football, everything. I have it, Mr. Tap, with my other company. It's a box, right?
Yeah.
From Quebec. But now I got this IPTV for $60. I got it because I want a backup in case I can, I can if it doesn't work, I can maybe go to somewhere else. And it's amazing. So if anybody want to have some information, APTV guys, call me or text me, email me. it's worth it. $60 USA, by the way, for 1 year, 14
Wow,
months.
that's neat.
So
That's great.
about that one there. A couple people about talking, Mr. Antap. If you go Laval, got a problem here, Mr. Cap. Pierre Martin talk about Slafkovsky. He's still a clumsy kid coach. I will keep him with a big team for the previous practice until he become more experienced with the big team. Going with the NHL level, the play, sure, he's a real kid. Again, guys, don't say I said something wrong about Slafkovsky. We're just sharing from Mr.
Yeah,
Antap about that one there. Would the Rangers take Slafkovsky for Lafreniere, something else, maybe not only option for Abination?
I wouldn't do it. I would not do it for Lafreniere.
Whatever, I consider the injury situation. That's why the AHL was the perfect for him. Slafkovsky started quite well, but starting to sag in this game. Agree is a mental. Last year was the big mistake. This year it could be both an Asian and an American colleague for Nicholas. Yes, since he lost Doc, he struggled, Mr. Tap.
He has, but still, Coach. I read. I think yesterday. I read a stat that was put out there. I think it was by Grant McCagg, and he said that Slafkovsky has more career NHL goals right now than any other player that was picked in the top 50 of the 2022 NHL draft combined. So I mean, it takes time. Like these, the reason why these other players haven't produced either is because they're going through their own struggles. Like you look at Shane Wright, who was supposed to be the unheralded number one pick, and he's going through his struggles. Like okay, we see Cooley, but like these things will be they'll even themselves out. I mean, I think he's a great player, but Slavkovsky will come into his own. Trust me on this one.
Yeah. But for these young kids, so kids would become 80 point a scorer in 3 4 years. His coach said, no, I didn't set William about that. I can promise you that about that. Jimmy said, Cooley, I was one a Cooley, but I'm not afraid he's a better Sarkoski. Uh, the old black jersey for on that. And then we have the National National Tap tie the game 1-1 for
Oh, really?
Vancouver.
Okay,
Yep,
that's quick.
yep. For that one. On ESPN2 Plus, yes, I got now on the Sportnet goal get about this one. Sarkozy would be atop his game in American right now, 20 to I on the all situation. Sportnet for triple W. Thanks so much. Appreciate that. About that. Then we have as development, we take it 2 time away. William McLeod, 40-minute 18 shift with Vegas. My correct game on Sportnet. Gary, thanks so much to let me know that. Of course, we appreciate that for everybody. Let me know. Load management for 60 play 60 game. I will email you, coach. Thanks so much for the channel. You're welcome. About that, I think Pavel Boris score assist from Thomas Gradin and Harold Snap. Here we go.
Harold
1-1,
Smith.
Léon Renault, Nashville. The more play. Isaiah Pivot is the guy, so a lot of links end up being useless after a short while. If you have a good internet stream and a little time, you can find anything you want to watch. Well said about that one there. 2-1 Nashville, 2-1 Nashville, Mr. Tap, about that one over there. And do Mr. Tap, the next thing I want to finish, Kolik maybe end up having more points que Sakri, but Sakri would be better playoff player on his fully development. For Marko, great point about this one there, Mr. Tap.
Well said, Marco.
Let's talking about the last one here, Mr. Tap, is the October Monahan rolled the line in the contract. What do you think about Sean Monahan? We know we talked a little bit about him next a couple of minutes ago, but his role with the Montreal Canadiens. What do you feel about his line? And with that, the Texans beat the Diamondbacks when I'm on top. If you follow the game,
Yeah, yeah, that's a blowout that game.
yeah, he's a what? And
Yeah, I think it's three games to one now for
okay,
Texas Rangers.
okay,
um,
11-1, Mr. on top.
11-1. Yeah, it was a blowout. You know what, Coach? we got to be very careful with Monahan here. I think the key thing is for him to remain healthy and get himself to a position where, uh, I mean, that's the reason why he took the deal he did this year. Yes, he likes to be in Montreal, but he's also banking on himself to produce a good year so that he can get a nice beefy contract at the end of the year. So yeah, we got him on the cheap this year at $2 million. I know there's or just slightly under, and there's bonuses and whatnot. But still, for his talent and what he brings to the game, that's extremely cheap. But we can't lose sight. As much as I love Monahan, we cannot lose sight of what our overall plan is, and in this whole rebuilds thing. And if somehow, some way, he gets us a first round pick, then you have to entertain that because let's face it, you look at his past years, injuries are an issue. He is prone to injury. And,
But if
you
you
know, as
enjoy
much as
Mr.
it's,
Tap, you put him on salary cap, and that's it. It's not like you hurt yourself. He's only 29 years old.
but he's not going to
Like
come back
we
for
don't
$2
have
million.
anybody like Monahan right now. Like
But
we
he's
don't
not
have
going to come back for $2
anybody.
million, coach. That's the thing. If he comes back for $2 million, I would agree with you 100%.
Oh, I would
He's
give
going to
him
want to
five
come
million
back.
dollars, Mr. Tap.
Yeah, well, five might be a little bit lowballing it. I think he's going to be looking, closer to six and up.
If we never get
Um,
6, 7, Mr. Tap, because you just said the reason why the prone injury.
yeah, I get it. But again, he's banking on himself to show that he can stay healthy and that injuries is more a thing of the past. And for us, it's more of a mirage. I think if you get the right deal, you have to deal them. Like you have to. And again, you can't fall in. It's very important that we don't fall in love with our players. Like you have to do what's best for the overall team. And I think that if he can continue this pace, and you get something significant at trade deadline time, like we already got him, we got a first, and now if we can get another first, like that's it's Christmas time. Like you have to entertain that.
Again, I would say to you, we don't have any money in. We don't have. And if you go to the direction to increasing, he bring more than anybody else the Montreal Canadiens get right now. If they lose, he don't have money right now, Mr. Tap. That team is so much bad. This is what money bring on the so much money bring on the table right now. And if you remove Monahan, who do you have inside your organization to pick up the spot of Monahan?
Well,
Nobody.
you still have no, you still have some experienced players that are
Which
you talking
one?
about experience?
No,
I
no.
mean
Which player can pick up the
Gallagher?
Monahan spot and play at the level of Monahan on off eyes,
Nobody.
on eyes? We don't have anybody.
No. No, on ice, no. Nobody. Off ice, I mean, those are things that you can address. I understand what you're saying, but you can address those. Like you can get somebody that comes into your organization at some point when you're ready, okay, to make a serious run and helps your team. We did it a few years ago when
But
we
why
went to
you
the
go to
Stanley Cup
sacrifice the players when you have him? Why you
because
go
you
to
might get
sacrifice Joshua Roy to get a top six for the Fleur Panthers example when you have already
because
Monahan?
I can't trust that he's going to stay healthy, and I can't trust the fact that
You put him on the
uh,
long term injury reserve. It's not the end of the world.
yeah, but it really caps you out. It's not an easy thing. I still think like you know what, a couple years ago or 3 years ago, whatever it was, when we went on that Stanley Cup run, you know, Montreal went out and they got the players that had the character. They got them when the time was right. They went and got a Corey Perry. They went and got uh, some Edmondson and those kind of players to come onto the team to give that invaluable um, off ice and on ice leadership. That you can do. You can do that easily. I think but to say let's keep this guy because he's good for the team, we saw what happened last year. Like as soon as he was injured, that was it. You can't just bank on that.
But for the transition we have, he's only 29 years old. For me, it's a good pick. Oh, well,
Super
super chat.
chat.
Super chat. Reverse chop, chop, chop. Super chat, Mr. Pierre Martin at $10 percent of tap. He did it again. Thanks
Hype,
so
hype.
much, Mr. Pierre Martin, on that one. Some hype for Pierre Martin. Thanks so much. Appreciate about that one over there. For me, Monahan, you sign him a 3 years contract below $5 million. 4 million, 4.5. This is a great third center you're going to need and for the Montreal Canadiens in the future.
I still say you can get that. You can get that elsewhere when the time is right, coach. Like you have to think of what kind of injuries he sustained over the years when he was with Calgary and even last year with Montreal. You don't come back from a hip surgery that easily. He's had a broken foot. I mean, that one's not as troublesome, but the hips, it's a big one. And I know, I understand what you're saying. You can put him always on your IR, but it doesn't do your team any good if he's on your IR. Just like with Doc being there right now, it's doing them no good. I know he traveled before. Well, today he had his operation, and thankfully everything went well from
Yeah.
everything I read. But he was following the team before, and that's nice. But it's not the same as being there, healthy, helping these kids out.
But for me, I feel like they don't have anybody to pick his spot, and that's the biggest problem for me. Face-off wise, uh, leadership
Yeah,
inside of
yeah,
that, and if you can get him lower, sorry, cap, not $2 million, but $4 million, I will sign him. Not a long contract. He's only 29. He's only turned 29 now. It's just like he still have like 5 years, and for him, he can play in NHL.
yeah. I agree. I agree. I don't dispute anything that you're saying. I'm just saying I don't trust the types of injuries he's had. Like Paul Byron had to retire because he just couldn't get that same speed and that consistency in his game going anymore because of that hip surgery. And this is something he's suffered from. Like you might get away with it 1 year, but rest assured that it's a huge gamble to say, okay, you know what, I'll sign him for a year or two, even if it's at $5 million. Money wise, it makes sense. Years wise, term wise, it makes sense. But if he gets hurt, it does you no good.
Yeah, maybe. I just feel like for me, we don't have anybody right now to keep up over there. Uh,
Agreed. Agreed with that. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
maybe my only concern about that situation for him, about that one over there. My second about him being an injury, I'm scared that he can play, but his injury I've show him down so much. He's not effective right now.
Yeah.
He's effective. Marco, about
It's
that.
only 9 games, coach. 9 games.
Yeah, but he proved it. He can play.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
He
It's a long
proved that he
season.
can play. It's like everybody can get hurt tomorrow morning. That's part of the game. Shabbat get hurt last week, and I can go away like that. Whoever want Monahan will have to pay a big price, or else no deal for me for that one over there. Monahan is not going to accept a lot of money to sign in Montreal. Why? Because he's already make it. And he has fun players, guys. He pop up at 25, 26, 27. They got a UFA mission tap, and they don't have money before. So this is the first big contract they get, like Nanander. Nanander would not grade at $6 million because this is at his prem he's going to get. Money he did it. He's already in the past. Money now is one to be sure is family wise, lifestyle wise, team you want to play with, the players you want to play with. He had nothing for him right now to go to Colorado or Edmonton or whatever it is to get $7 million. It's not his first priority, Mr. Nata. This is the reason I believe Montreal are maybe going to offer him a contract below a $5 million to stay around because of that. That's what I feel.
Yeah,
For me, a third.
if you can get it, if you can get him at a good price, I would agree. But I also think maybe he would like to win a Stanley Cup. That could be also a consideration in
At
my eyes.
29 years old, no. At 35, 36, 37, when you don't have any Stanley Cup, like that's what you may be looking for that. At that age, I don't think so. He signed, a 12, $16 more million contract. He would see about that one there. It's just for me, if you don't have him next year and you have a good year with Montreal Canadiens, whatever it is, like, whatever it is for him, you have a good year. Who do you have next year to pick up his spot? Owen Beck, Jan Mizak, we don't have.
No,
This is
no.
my so you're going to go back next year to go forward, but we regress because now we let play the Rack, Monahan, and maybe other players. This is what I believe. Montreal has to adjust themselves. So we cannot go forward and then go backwards because we don't want to keep the player like Monahan, Savard, or whatever they are.
Okay, I get your point, but like if Montreal can get him cheap, I think that's worthwhile. Uh, I just don't think that he's gonna give another hometown
Because if you get
discount.
another player like Monahan, Mr. What it would be the
Yeah,
cost in the NHL?
it depends on their age, right? It's like you said, if somebody's 34 and they're coming in just to give you that experience and can still contribute, then you can
But I
get
would
them
not
for
bring
under
any player
$2 million.
over 30 years old, Mr.
Yeah, it depends where you are in your development, coach. It really does. Like if you're ready to make a serious push for the playoffs and to make some noise in the playoffs, then it doesn't matter if you have one or two players that are in their 30s, as long as they're not contracts that really tie you down. That's the problem. I don't want to bring somebody in that's going to make $5 million, $6 million. They're 35 years old and they want to come over for 2 or 3 years. I would not do that, obviously. But if they come over for a year or two and you get them at a reasonable amount, which at that age you can, just to give you that leadership that right now we're getting through Monahan, then it's something worth pursuing or looking into at least.
Yeah, well, we'll see the time with us. Man, we can go through this
Yeah.
all night, and then, man, we don't have no answer about that. Pierre Martin, I trust, man, it would be either que Dak. Dak has spent half his career injured. Nicholas Monin is a Swiss Army knife, can play anywhere and do any job on the team while looking a great doing. However, the injury is a big concern about that. Why would not stay? Why would he stay here? I know, but do you have an answer?
Well, I mean, if like you said before, he's made his money and he's it's more about quality of life and maybe he cherishes the role of being that mentor for a lot of the younger players. I get that, but I don't know, coach. Sometimes money talks in the
Or wife
NHL,
talk?
or wife talks. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Money talks, and if somebody else is offering you, $4 or $5 million somewhere else, and Montreal's only willing to give you three and a half, he's gonna walk.
Yeah. But not look. Predict Manet will sign for less with a great team, but not in Montreal. 3 years
Yeah.
at $3.5 million for Manet. Manet love Montreal in Canada. It's not that just a big
I would
injury.
do that.
Worry about this. Why you absolutely right about that? Player always want more money. Coach, a young age, I would say to you, look, yes, when you get 30 years old, 31 years old, you get a little bit more trend, but I can understand
Wisdom.
point of view. not much Milesh Kowat. Also, hip and back injury are weight difference. Right, I'm more concerned about term of Monahan. 2 years tough for me. For that. Monahan is a stabilizer for the forward group. Gary Cornoyer. You can tell Monahan really likes to play here.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Great comments here. Okay, so 35 kids followed Mr. Tap, knocked the door at Kentucky, Mr. Tap, and they all survived. Now to see what is going to happen tomorrow for them. And wait to see what Monahan, see where New York is. You see what the return will be. Other team will try to sign him to next year, so the save, but us to trade him is okay around the trade deadline. Not for me, Marco, and that means I will not have to work tomorrow. The front wrist and knees to hockey players. Wrist and knees will become arthritic as time passes. I have 3 knee surgery. I know arthritis is a problem about that one. Yeah, but the way it is now, Mr. Tap, it's easier a knee compared to the wrist.
True, but not the hip. The hip
Yeah,
is a big problem.
yeah. So more for goalies, by the way.
Yes, that's true.
But Mr. Tap, how was your day at Hollywood?
Oh, Halloween was okay. It was a horrible day in terms of I have a really bad cold, but we're
Yeah,
fighting
you
through
look
it.
like
We'll
sick, Mr.
get through it.
Tap.
Yeah, I am a little bit,
Is it
but
the
we'll
reason
get
you
through it.
put your hat tonight, or?
No, no, I thought Don Cherry, when he picks up the octopus in Detroit and throws it onto the ice.
We
I
appreciate
thought it
that you joined us tonight, Mr. Tap. Last minute
my
call because
pleasure.
we thought it was a good night talking about Montreal. And tomorrow night we'll be back at 9 o'clock with Marko and David and who's going to talk about Montreal Canadiens, more about the NHL. We're going to talk a little bit about Montreal Canadiens. And then possible we try to get Randy Walkman if he can join me to talk about the Calgary, the Pacific Division tomorrow night. We try to overview, Mr. Tap, tomorrow. A little bit what we did Montreal tonight in the month. So now go to go a little bit more about the first month of NHL. You're welcome. Join me if you want to. It's not a big deal. We're
Sure.
going to be live, the guys, 9 o'clock. And then following part of the game, Monday one of the 14th game in NHL for the Montreal Canadiens, Mr. Tap. They have 14 game in front of us. So that's pretty
And
much what we got tonight,
we could
guys.
talk about the Leafs too.
I'm sorry again.
We could talk about the Leafs too tomorrow night.
The Leafs, yeah, the Leafs will be on the conversation. We're going to talk about all the NHL tomorrow night, so be interesting what's going on with that. We're going to talk about my Pittsburgh Penguins, Mr. Tap.
The geriatrics, yes.
I need to call Crosby right now. I need to talk to him or Mike Sullivan. Someone need to call me, by the way.
He's getting a hearing aid put in, so you're not going to catch him soon.
How much is a new hip, Pierre Martin? I don't know. You can go to Walmart.
Depends.
You can go to Walmart. Maybe have something special with them. Go Axbury
I
Ox.
don't know.
Go Arvada. By the way, John Monahan until is here. Look at Watson. I'm sorry about this one, Mr. Tap. Run with King, thanks so much to be with us. We want to thank everybody in the chat, all the moderators, Luciano, Run with Kings. We want to thank everybody, members of the Hockey National Show. We want to thank you. We want to thank the super chat of Pierre Martin tonight, Mr. Tap. And of course, Mr. Tap, we want to thank you again to join me live with us. A bit
My
sick,
pleasure, Coach.
about that one. Hopefully, a speed recovery. And only one game tonight, still, guys. Very quiet tonight, tomorrow night in NHL. More busy Thursday, and we'll see Montreal going to finish. Don't forget, next Sunday, we're going to talk about the Montreal Canadiens, the weekly recap, and after that, and maybe Marko, he feel better. So everybody have some kind of difficulties right now. We wish you speed recovery. But one thing is on that, it never change. Whatever is Halloween, Christmas, or a regular day. Because you're the only one do this.
You are awesome.
That's the reason why you are the legend.
You are the best. And
It's
remember,
Coach.
you have greatness inside of you.
And by the way, November 8th, Mr. Tap, Marco D'Amico is going to be with us talking about the
Yes.
Montreal Canadiens. So we can wait to see him next Wednesday. And you are the night with Marco. You are the one with Marco that night that you don't know yet. This is confirmed now. you're going to be live with Marko Demigo November
Sounds
8th.
great,
So
Coach.
we want to thank everybody in the chat. There's so many people to thank, Mr. Enortap. Before we leave, we want to thank, of course, all the people are going to be with us tomorrow night. Until then, Mr. Enortap, be well, be held. Find a way not only to dominate your day, but find a way to dominate the second half of what?
You're 2023.
He did it again! An amazing great night, everybody. If still people looking for happy Halloween, if you consist to unite your bar, whatever you want to do. And of course, we want to tell everybody one more thing, sir. The Hockey Nation and the Ad Nation and Mr. Enortap and myself, we want to tell you one more thing. We love you, people. An amazing great night, Mr. Enortap. I will see you next time. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Coach. Good night, Hockey Nation.
Thank you, Mr. Enortap. Good night, everybody. Salut, mon Luc. On va manger ton octopus, Luc. Oh, 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 oh. Booyah!